Hello everyone. In today's lecture again we will continue the chapter 4. So in previous lecture already we have discussed what is fresh concrete, then different properties of fresh concrete, also different factors which affect workability and measurement of workability, or how we can measure the workability of fresh concrete. So among the tests which are available for the measurement of fresh concrete, like slump test, compaction factor test, flow table test, VV test, these are the tests. So first one, this is slump test or slump cone test, is already completed or discussed. So in today's class I am going to discuss the second one. This is compacting factor test. So it is used for concrete which have low workability, basically for which slump test is not suitable. So in that particular case we prefer compacting factor test. So these are some apparatus which are required. This is the figure. Hopper, top hopper, this is the bottom hopper, this is the cylinder, this is the base which is fixed in the laboratory, this is the trowel, and this is the tamping rod. Also apparatus like we can use weighing balance, then tray for mixing purposes, like this. So let us discuss the total procedure. So the sample of concrete, that means the fresh concrete which we prepared to be tested, is placed in the upper hopper up to the brim, and the trap door is opened so that the concrete falls into the lower hopper or bottom hopper. Then the trap door of lower hopper is opened and the concrete is allowed to fall into the cylinder, and then the excess concrete remaining above the top level of cylinder is cut off with the help of plane blades, and the net weight of concrete in cylindrical mold is taken. And now after that, the concrete is fully compacted and the weight is determined by filling the cylinder in 3 layers, and we have to give or tamped each layer 25 times. Then at last we have to measure the weight of cylinder completely with concrete or fully compacted concrete, and this weight may be W3. And the previously whatever we measured partially filled concrete, this is W2, and empty weight of the cylinder, this is W1. This cylinder, this is detachable. Whenever necessary we fixed it, otherwise we can take it out for the measurement. So this is the total procedure, and applying the formula like W2 minus W1 by W3 minus W1, this is the formula. By using this formula we can find out the compacting factor, and by knowing this value we can determine the workability of fresh concrete. So next is flow test or flow table test. This is the third test. It also used to measure the workability of concrete. And this test basically gives the indication of the quality of concrete with respect to consistency, cohesiveness and proneness to segregation. And in this test a standard mass of concrete is subjected to jolting, and the spread or the flow of concrete is measured, and this flow is related to workability. And these are some apparatus required like flow table, trowel, hand scope, scale, tamping rod are required for this test. This is the apparatus, this is the flow table, it has a handle, this is the cone, this is the base. So let us discuss the procedure. The flow table of diameter 76 cm is cleaned of all gritty material and is weighted. The mold of base is 25 cm diameter. Upper diameter 17 cm and height of 12 cm is kept on the center of table and is filled in 2 layers. We have to fill it in 2 layer the fresh concrete. Each layer is tamped 25 times with tamping rod and the top layer is rodded evenly, or we have to plane it. The mold is lifted vertically upward, this mold upward, and the concrete stands on its own without any support. And the table is then raised and dropped 12.5 mm 15 times in 15 seconds. We have to rotate it. And this flow or spread of concrete related to mobility and workability. And next, after rotation, next measure the diameter of the spread of concrete in about 6 direction and note down the average. We have to note down the average and it should be 0 to 150%. So this is the total procedure of floor table test or floor test. And next is BB test. The last test is BB test. It is the pure laboratory test to measure workability of fresh concrete. It also known as BB consistometer test or BB test. Here the time required for the shape of concrete to change from slump cone shape to cylindrical shape in seconds is known as BB seconds. In this test, the consistency of concrete is measured in terms of BB second. Basically, this test is suitable for stiff concrete mixes having low and very low workability, and these are the apparatus as shown in the figure, like BB consistometer, standard iron rod, stopwatch, this is the base, metal plot, glass disc, etc. So let us discuss the total procedure. So the test consists in molding a fresh concrete cone in a cylindrical container mounted on a vibrating table. The cylinder of diameter 300 mm, height is 200 mm, and a cone of height 300 mm, base diameter 200 mm, top diameter is 100 mm. The mold as shown here, this is the cone like slump cone, same dimension as slump cone, and this is the cylinder, this is the base which is fixed. So fill the concrete in the slump cone in 4 layers. Each layer should be 1/4 of the height of the slump cone, and we have to tamping the each layer by using tamping rod 25 times. After the last layer has been tamped, then label the surface with a trowel. And after the labeling of slump cone surface, move and place the transparent glass disc which is attached to its arm on the top surface of the slump cone in the metal pot, and then note down the reading from the graduated scale as an initial reading. And after that, we have to remove the slump cone slowly and carefully in the upward direction and wait till the concrete settles in new position. The lower the transparent glass disc on the top of the concrete and note down the reading from the graduated scale as a final reading. And determine the slump value by taking the difference between the final reading and initial reading, which are taken from the graduated rod or by using graduated rod. Now switch on the vibrator and start the stopwatch, allow concrete to spread out in the metal pot. And the vibrator should be continued till the concrete surface completely adheres uniformly to the transparent glass disc. And note the time taken for this remolding process, and this time is recorded in seconds. This is known as BB second. And the low BB time means high workability. So these are some procedures are available to find out the workability of freshly mixed concrete. The last and most important thing is requirements of workability. So let us discuss what are the major requirements of workability. Like the workability of the concrete must be in such a way that it can be properly mixed, placed in the formwork and properly compacted with less effort without the chances for segregation and bleeding. And next, the workability is chosen based on the compacting equipment, section size and reinforcement concentration, and it is high for sections that are heavily reinforced or when they have inaccessible parts. And basically the workability of or the requirements of workability should be dealt or changed with situation. The minimum workability with satisfactory placement and compaction must be followed. So these are some requirements of workability, and with this our chapter 4, this is properties of fresh concrete, is completed, and next lecture we will start a new chapter. So thank you.